Hello, ECAC. Welcome to tonight's Overwatch League or Overwatch match between the two teams. Tonight we're looking at Edgewood College out of Madison, Wisconsin versus Shawnee State University from Portsmouth, Ohio. Both of these teams are going in from a win last week. Both their records are 1-1 right now, so pretty balanced. Today I'm joined with Inferno again as last week. Want to
Hello.
say hi? Yep, and we also
How's it
have
going?
our observer Beldia, and I'm doing great. How are you?
Just fine. I'm ready to get into the game, as it looks like we are. Back
Yep.
on Lijiang Tower,
Yep.
where we started last week as well.
I believe this is for the third week in a row. Pretty common
Oh, the
pick
third
between
week.
them.
Look at that.
Yeah. Definitely a popular pick out of the options. We're going to be interesting seeing the types of teams going into this. We're actually starting, I believe, on this is Market first, which I don't think we've seen yet. Usually, I believe the past weeks have been on.
The control
Con
one,
yeah,
the one in the
Control
middle
Center.
there. Yeah. Control center. That's it.
Yep. So looking at the team lineups, we're going to see Gordo and Happy on tank, Z, Smitty, Basilisk, Kaiser, and M-Star on DPS, Celestial, Maddie, Melon Ball, Dots, Bets, and Fox on support. Yeah, that's only one D, but
Here we go.
yeah.
We have
So
the Rhine mirror match here.
that's definitely going to be fun to see, and likely an advantage just already looking for Shawnee because of the May pick, being able to just isolate the Rhine. It's going to be really strong. Definite
Absolutely.
support difference as well. The Juno Brig is very meta right now. We're going to see how it fares against the Lucio Brig, or Lucio Bat.
We have a fight directly on point now with Shawnee State. Just a couple kills now for Edgewood College. Going to be favoring the fight for them, with
Definitely.
Kaiser and Gordo finding most of them.
Yeah, that was a quick cleanup from them. From Edgewood, actually. Strong take there with the Sim TP on the point. Sim is also going to be a really strong pick in the Rhine, being able to just full charge almost every fight and keep the ammo up from it by charging off the shield. See a couple
Absolutely.
fire strikes thrown.
Yep, Fire Strike to build up some ult charge for both Rhines here. Shawnee State going to be approaching the point. Gets May walled off on the right side there. We're going to see Juno in the back trying to keep everyone alive. Z Smitty's May wall isolates the Rhine, but not long enough to secure the kill. We now have M-Star with another May wall. Happy finding 3 kills
Yeah, that's
as Shawnee State start to cap the point now.
yeah, that was a pretty good team kill from them. They lost Smitty there at the start, but they got the shatter down from Happy, which allowed them to get the advantages they needed on the supports. But we're gonna see the ult from Gordo probably coming up quick. See if they can turn the tides. Ooh, early
We have
critical
an
on Nelly.
early pick on Nelly here. He'll be back fast, but he's going to leave his team out high and dry for now with another stagger pick coming on to M-Star, an A player for Edgewood.
They're gonna be pushed back here, knowing that they're down 2. They can't take a team fight right now, but that was really good from Shawnee being able to get those early picks.
We're now going to see the percentage favor start to go in Shawnee State's way with some ultimates ready for this next fight here. Shatter comes down. Doesn't seem much. We now have the Blizzard coming down from Edgewood. A few kills on the back of Shawnee State. Edgewood College not letting them through. As Shawnee State holds the point.
Yeah, that's going to be a wrap-up for Shawnee again. They dumped, looks like 3 ults into that, and I believe that was 3 from Edgewood as well, but they were able to come out using both support ults, but they are going to have, Melly's going to have the sound barrier here, definitely going to be strong against the Sojourn Overclock. Pretty good counter. We're going to see if they're going to be able to get that off going for this next fight.
We see Both Rhines just trying to build some ult charge here. Happy definitely closer to the Shatter. Gonna be able to have it for this next fight, probably. Both Maywalls come down, and the overclock from Basilisk. We have the Stim Wall from Edgewood College, splitting the point in half, with the sound barrier to give them the shields and HP boost. Gordo being walled out of the point. And chase down the May. Happy finally falling as Edgewood takes control of the point now.
Yeah, I mean, you see that there. They definitely had the ult advantage. I'm not sure which team ulted at the start there. I believe it was Smitty, which got them the early control they needed, being able to push back. And I think they just had Gordo in the back of point most of that. Both Rhines just rolling in the back as the rest of the team fought on point. But definitely strong from both of them. Looking at ult economy, it's fairly close when it comes to supports. Both Rhines with their shatters. Definitely close engagements, some good Maywalls on the tanks, but we're seeing some also nice Maywalls to counter it, isolating the tank that gets isolated, I guess, as protection.
We're gonna have a Shatter from Happy come down on a bunch of the members from Edgewood College. As the fight goes on, we see Smitty picking up Celestial Maddie and Gordo, followed by Kaiser, and now the point goes back to Shawnee State, looking to just finish it here with a contest from Melly. Now from M-Star with the Icicle and the Blizzard. We now have a swap of Doomfist that instantly gets shredded. Happy with a charge kill onto Kaiser and a Fire Strike kill onto Maddie will secure that first point.
Yeah, that was definitely strong
State.
from Shawnee. We can see Edgewood dumping as many ults as they can there at the end, but where they're so staggered, so spread out, it's just a 5v2, 5v1 advantage every fight. It was a very good freeze from M-Star, but there was just nobody to take advantage of the ult. So that is going to be the first round to Shawnee. Definitely interesting. Fairly back and forth, but it does appear that...
It was a close round.
Yeah, it does appear Shawnee's just got their foot in the door a little more than Edgewood here.
Gonna see if they can carry the momentum on to the second round.
Yeah, Edgewood's gonna have to definitely clap back and hope they can get the advantage on this one.
Too many changes in the comp. Gonna be using the Sim Teleport to get Shawnee State there a little bit quicker, as Edgewood College is already on the point.
Not sure how they got there. Oh, they do have the Lucio for speed.
Lucio and a Sim. M-Star being the first kill. Happy. Now fighting on the point with Gordo, falling low. Immortality field comes out to save Gordo, but not for long, as Happy claims the point with Shawnee State.
Yeah, that was a fairly strong fought battle from Shawnee. Being able to get the early pick and retake it was very good. We're gonna hopefully maybe see some environmentals from this Lucio. That could definitely be fun on this map.
Always is. Always is. The boom.
Going to the left side, definitely better for the characters they have. Better isolation. Hallway's very good to isolate the Rhine. Just
gonna be
much
throwing
more
some
narrow.
fire strikes to build some ult charge. Let's see if we can get some shatters down this fight. Melly being a little outside of the fight right now. Coming in to help the team. We have Shawnee State finding 3 kills now as Fox and Dobbs dead. Keep everyone alive. They can just keep swinging and take down all of Edgewood College.
Yeah, that was a really strong wall from Smitty. Even though they were pushing from that right side, the narrow hall is great up until Smitty walls off the supports and they can just take down Gordo like easy peasy. Just with no supports on that Rhine, he falls down quick. And that's the strength of the May in these comps.
The amplification matrix gets counter-ulted with the shatter. We now see Shawnee State with a complete ult off, winning and retaining the point. We're now getting closer to that 99%.
Yeah, all it takes is that one shatter from Happy, and Basilisk just goes ham with the orbital ray from Juno, and they can kill all of those down targets as fast as they need to before they can even get up. But Gordo's still up there, but without a team, there's not left to do.
Using the overclock early here with the blizzard now. Gonna try to section off the rest of Edgewood. We see the environmental coming from Fox onto M-Star. Gordo kills 2 with a charge off the map. Gonna be taking this fight now for Edgewood. Shawnee State is down. And what a play from Edgewood!
That was very, very good. They dumped quite a few ults into that, but Gordo was able to get the double environmental kill on the ulting Brigitte, which definitely helped them get the
A
advantage.
beautiful play.
Losing a tank and a half from that one. Very strong. Looking at the ult economy, slightly more leaning in favor of Edgewood here. We're gonna see if they can keep this hold that they have with the 99%. They have to hold this in order to keep the map.
Looks like they're also going to try to favor going over to this coast and see if they can push to the back at this point.
It's going to be hard with these sim turrets behind them, though.
These sim turrets and Maywalls are just a lot of point control. We now see M-Star falling low and having to use the Ice Cube to retain some health here. Fox finding a key pick on the Kaiser. M-Star picking happy as Dotfets and Fox start cleaning up with Shawnee State.
That looks like that might be the map for Shawnee. They're actually going to have the sim TV. Oh, but the knockback into
The environmental.
always good with the line.
This is still a contest as Gordo and M-Star fall. It's seemingly less and less as Shawnee State team kills for the win.
I mean, we see the close contest from Edgewood, but Shawnee's able to hold that. Pretty great knockback there from the Fox, being able to just throw them back before they're even in touch. The Symmetra falling early definitely doesn't help, but we're going to see play the game here from Happy. Definitely played really well from both teams, but Shawnee was able to just keep that advantage up. Had the better ults, had the better advantage. The Sim definitely helped them out majority of the time.
Absolutely. And it looked like they were just on a roll there. They did get stopped for that one push, which was a great play.
Yeah, I mean,
from Gordo getting the double kill with the charge there, but unfortunately not being able to hold it for long.
Yeah, double environmental kill with charge isn't exactly... It's not easily replicatable in each fight. It's not something you can get, but where Shawnee has the advantages in the fights, it seems, Edgewood's kind of relying on these environmental kills and these easy advantages, but we're just seeing some better Maywalls from Shawnee, better support on the tank, and it seems like every fight Edgewood is the tank's going in, getting Maywalled off, and then from there they're dumping as much as they can into them, and even if they don't get the pick, they're going to be at such a disadvantage ability-wise because Edgewood has to put every support ability they have into the tank to keep them alive, and all Shawnee has to do is just shoot them down. So at the start, it's just a ability advantage from Shawnee.
Absolutely. And I'm loving the Maywalls here, coming out from both teams, trying to section off the parts that they need and take each team down piece by piece. And it seems that Shawnee State just is doing it a little better right now. And I'm curious if Edgewood College is going to keep up with this May tactic, or if we're going to see completely new strats for the next map.
Yeah, I feel like Edgewood might have to change something up. Again, the Symmetra being able to just shred the wall, keep it down early, and keep the pressure up on every other member of the team is just the advantage that Shawnee has on Edgewood. So they're definitely going to have to either make a switch to Symmetra or do something else because it's definitely part of what's winning them here. And something else to pay attention to is the support difference with the Baptiste and Lucio just cannot compete with the Juno's healing. Juno just being able to do a full team heal all at once plus Brig, it's just so much AoE heal. And even though Lucio and Baptiste are able to provide that, it's just not enough.
It's just not enough. It looks like we might be going to Midtown for our next hybrid map.
Yep. Midtown again, I believe, is the second. This is I think, did we have this last week? I believe we did.
I don't. No, we had Kings Row last week.
That's right. We had this the first week, but still,
Okay.
definitely an interesting map. Came in Overwatch 2. Fairly sniper oriented. I believe first week on this map we saw a majority of snipers, which would be interesting to see this time, because even though the Maze Symmetra is cool to see how well they're able to wall off the team, it's not as cool as seeing the shots that some of the snipers can take. So we're going to see if M-Star, Keister, Smitty, and Basilisk are able to get those picks if they do go sniper.
Absolutely.
In relation to their positioning, we did see both these teams playing very fast, very aggressive, because they with the Symmetra and the Lucio being able to TP, get there really quick and play on point. I wouldn't doubt if that's what we see in this first point. It's just going inside on the right in attack and then TPing straight on the point for the flank. Probably very likely compared to the sniper picks, because getting map control is what you want.
Absolutely. And I'm one of the things about Midtown is that first choke seems to be a pretty hard one sometimes for the attacking team to get past. And I'm curious to see on the attack here what the comps are going to look like to try to deal with that choke. And are we going to try to get around it, up top, and maybe past it? Are we going to fight it head on? And I'm
Yeah,
just curious to see
definitely.
what these teams come up with here.
And especially with the May picks from both teams, that first choke point will be almost an impossible take for the attacking team, being able to get the wall, or even the defending team. But it is much easier to play back on defense than it is in attack, because you can't exactly play back in attack when you're trying to push. So they're either going to have to shred the May wall or go around it or something. But I doubt they're going to play into it like normal. They're definitely going to have something up their sleeve for it.
I also liked what you said with the snipers, like seeing a Widow or a Hanzo on this first point in Ash. Sometimes does help get them through that first choke by getting an early pick or so. But we did see both teams go with the shield tanks, which makes me think we might not see too many snipers here. But I'm definitely not opposed to one.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I think we saw a flash of Kaiser on Sombra, which could be interesting, as well as M-Star Master on Bastion. Very interesting DPS for this map. Sombra not so much, but Bastion just shredding that Rhine shield might be what they need. Just get the Rhine shield down, laser him while the Sombra's messing with the supports in the back. Definitely the disruption they're going to need. Although I do believe they're on defense. We'll see. I believe that Shawnee here is on attack. Yeah, no, we're not going to see those characters. The May and Ash definitely makes sense. Ash is very strong right now. Very good poke. Sigma will be fairly interesting as well. What are your thoughts on that?
Does have that shield, but is not as strong as that Reinhardt.
Yeah, just
and I'm curious to see how he's going to play here into this team that it looks like Shawnee State's going to be locking in here.
Yeah, he definitely can't take as much space as a Reinhardt can, but he does have slightly better utility when it comes to stuns and survivability.
Indeed.
We're actually going to see an early Widow pick from Basilisk, which we will see. Mirror matchup with the Maze and same supports as
I am
last
so
match.
ready for this.
Yeah, let's see if we can get any early picks. That would probably be the May.
We're going to see some fire strikes coming through now, starting to build some ult charge for Happy. Going to be favoring this bottom push as Basilisk looks for some kills here now. Happy just going to be trying to take some space now, work up the field. We have Edgewood trying to get this high ground a little bit. Now fighting on the bottom with Happy here. Going to see the Kiriko cleanse coming out from Shawnee State. Save that Reinhardt. Going to be taking more space now, with both May walls coming down and a charge on the point. Another Kiriko cleanse onto the Reinhardt as the Sigma shield provides useful into the fight here now. There's some healing going down from the Lucio and the Baptiste, trying to keep everyone alive as a huge shatter from Happy comes out and swings the fight in Shawnee State's way.
A Yeah, I mean, you watched that whole fight. All it was just watching Shawnee walk down Edgewood. Edgewood with the Sigma just can't take as much map control as you can with the Reinhardt, especially where they have the Widow. You need to play away from those sight lines, and that just allowed the Shatter to build up way quicker just watching it then, and that's what won them that fight. Let's see what they're able to do this time, though. Playing up on the high ground.
Do see them on the high ground. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm curious to see how this one's going to play out as well. Throwing some fire strikes. And we see now the ult economy wasn't just on the Rhine. We have Dots, Bets, and Fox both with their ult.
Yeah, behind on the sound barrier is going to be very rough. Definitely going to be an advantage of Shawnee here.
We're seeing those ults come down, and it's still going in Shawnee's safe way.
I was seeing some
Have a
picks
few left alive.
Yeah, it's
doesn't look like Shawnee State's gonna try to pick them.
Yeah, even with a few down, they're able to keep that map control and keep pushing. They just don't have the numbers of the tank that.
Bob coming out and dying in record time. Gordo using the Sigma ult now. Just to try to get him off the point as they retake that space. Shawnee rush from Fox and Shawnee State comes down with M-Star using the Blizzard to keep him off. Melly also used a sound barrier for Edgewood here now. Keeping everyone alive as M-Star picked 2. Kaiser unfortunately falls the Basilisk. We just have some general fighting now on the card as May is forced into the ice cube to stay alive. And it looks like they're trying to get out from Shawnee State as Edgewood makes the Reinhardt swap and pushes them back.
Yeah, definitely the Gordo switch to Rhine was definitely what they needed. Keep that control after getting, he got, I believe Happy just charged straight in the back of their supports and everything. They just killed him, which they did kill him, but it wasn't enough, and they kind of maintained control.
We're gonna see the orbital ray come down for Shawnee State now. Further pushing back Edgewood College as Kaiser falls to Smitty on the way out. Happy with a shatter, not finding much, I believe. The immortality field coming down from Edgewood to keep the Reinhardt alive. As Edgewood lets the cap go down and is looking to back off a little bit? I'm not sure.
Shawnee has so much back pressure on Edgewood here, just pushing them way further back that they're able to cap the payload while all 5 members of the team are still alive. Which is just not something you want to see from Edgewood. They need to be able to take some more control, and I honestly feel the difference is in the supports. There's just so much more survivability for the tank from the Juno and the Kiriko.
Absolutely, and even now we still have this part going uncontested as everyone is still alive, and the amplification matrix and Blizzard comes down from both teams. It's going to be frozen all over the cart as the Fox finds Gordo and Happy finds M-Star. It looks again as Shawnee State is going to be keeping this payload moving.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the ult economy, it's fairly balanced. They're going to have the sound barrier for the Kitsune Rush, Orbital, and everything, but we're not sure what we're going to see between them. It's really going to come down to who uses what first and who's going to be left with their ults at the end of the fight to keep going.
Getting his shatter canceled by Gordo. And Shawnee State now backs off the back of that and the sound barrier provided from Edgewood College.
Yeah, with the loss of their tank and the sound barrier on Edgewood, that's an easy drop from Shawnee just to regroup and go back in again. They actually used Kitsune Rush there, which I didn't notice, which definitely isn't great for them to commit that and back out of the fight. But Happy definitely was overextended and didn't have the line of sight he needed to in sports, which led to his downfall, but we're going to see what they can do this fight with these supports.
Gordo now has this shatter in a spot where Happy does not. We're going to see if we can get a nice pick onto Happy early. Gets rid of the shield. As now there's picks from both teams going down. And Dots Bets with a huge pick on the Melly putting them down as support. Picks from all teams, and it looks like Shawnee State is just barely holding on here.
Very back and
Last
forth.
pick falling onto Maddie. No, Kaiser comes out and gets a nice pick on the Basilisk, as Juno and Reinhardt are the only two left as they're backing up from Shawnee State.
They're gonna have to back up, and they are fairly down in ults. Or no, they're Edgewood is fairly up actually, which is what they need. We're probably gonna see both Blizzards coming out, and with the cleanse, I'm expecting it to go in favor of Shawnee.
Reinhardt counterstun. We're seeing the Blizzard come down earlier for Edgewood. As Basilisk finds a kill on the Melee and M-Star, now putting Shawnee State up to use the Blizzard. Trying to secure the final kill on the Gordo, but the supports are keeping them alive quite well. You know, Happy and Smitty trying to push up and secure more kills to keep Edgewood College down. Both supports and a Tracer falling. With Gordo, the only one that gets... Oh, Gordo and Kaiser, the only ones to contest, now puts it all the way for Shawnee State.
Yeah, capping with only 30 seconds left, definitely would want more in the bank, but they got what they needed to. They're going to be able to at least go into a second round, but from Edgewood there, we saw full switches into the contest, but it didn't matter because you saw that Happy just ran in the back line as Reinhardt and was just swinging at the supports, and with no supports up, you're not going to have very long survivability on the cart, which is going to lead to your death and the cap for Shawnee. Definitely an interesting first round there.
It sure was, and I don't have any reason to believe that these teams are going to be any different going into this next one, as it looks like they are pretty much exactly what they were just running.
Yeah, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, except for
Exactly.
Edgewood. They might want to make some picks here. I believe Kaiser was making some... Kaiser...
I'm cooking for you later.
No, it wasn't Kaiser. Basilisk, I believe, was getting some nice picks on Cassidy. Which was very good, but again, we're going to see the Mei here, and the Sigma. Going to be interesting. Probably, I want to see what kind of map control they're going to be able to get here. With the Lucio, they're able to get the speed, but again, Shawnee has that Mei, and being able to wall off the tank, especially Gordo, with less survivability of Orion, it's going to be interesting what they can do.
And it's looking like they're just going to be pushing up right the main street here. Going to be taking that left room, and Shawnee State trying to hold their ground now. Maywall comes out from M-Star as looking like they're just trying to take this map control, go around the outskirts now. A nice Maywall coming from Smitty. Sections off the tank. As now a similar Maywall from M-Star does the same. Kaiser finding the first pick on the clock. Great pick. A healer down for Shawnee State now as they're backing up just a little bit.
Not very good Ash line of sight here. Look at Stove. Very interesting map
Edgewood
control for
College.
both teams.
It is. Finding three now. Gordo on the Sigma.
Yeah, very
Finds their way on the
interesting.
point. I wasn't sure the route that they were going. It looked
Yeah.
like they were up and were going to push, and I was a little confused on what
It
happened.
looked like they went from one chokehold to an even worse one, especially against the Mei and everything and the fire strikes. I'm surprised that worked for them, but Kaiser was able to get the early pick onto their supports.
A shatter comes down from Happy, but with the immortality skill, doesn't let the kills fall down right away. Now coming through from Shawnee State as they stop the payload, not very far past the choke.
Yeah, they're gonna regain the control, but it's right in front of their spawn doors. I doubt they're gonna be able to hold it for long.
It's looking like this next fight might be an ult dump from both teams.
I believe so. We want to see that beat up. It is now.
First Blizzard coming down from Smitty, followed by M-Star's Blizzard. As Shawnee Shawnee State finds the kills.
Yeah, I mean they exchanged the man advantage did go to Edgewood there, but I mean losing Happy that early, their Edgewood's tank is going to get back much faster than Happy is, so they're going to be able to get the map control they need. We're going to see
And
Happy
it looks
just
just
getting
as if
back
they're
now.
doing that. They finally get it pushed up with a Kitsune rush coming out now. They're going to look to take back this point. We have Maddie in the back as the rest of Edgewood is looking to... Oh, actually pulling off a bit as Shawnee goes even deeper, securing a kill on Melly.
I mean, we see the Kitsune rush come out from the Fox, and you can see Edgewood just fall back and get out of the fight, and you thought that would be the end of it, but Happy just charges straight into the backline for the charge kill on Melly, just for the even longer delay for their plays.
We now have the orbital. We have a couple ults going down now in this fight. And it looks like no team specifically taking it right now. Happy finding a kill on the Kaiser. Basilisk finishing off Melly with Gordo killing 2 for Edgewood College. Now a tank fight as Gordo finishes off Happy.
Yeah,
Just the Kiriko on point now for Shawnee State.
I'd be lying if I said I understood a majority of what happened there. That really was just, I believe that was 5 ults from Shawnee and 4 from Edgewood. They're going to have the window up for this, which is good considering they won that fight with getting the ult advantage. We'll see if they can use that to win this next one, but we're going to see Shawnee taking the high ground immediately, which is definitely an interesting play.
The amplification matrix now coming down in the back line as they find a kill onto Happy. The rest of the team is still on that high ground, now getting sectioned off by that Maywall from M-Star as they find more kills.
Yeah, it looks like, I believe that was a 3K from Kaiser. Very good.
Kaiser picked up a great 3K at the end of that fight.
I'm very
to secure
surprised.
it for Edgewood.
I'm very surprised by the way Shawnee took that. Going up top there doesn't work when they're pushing the payload against you, because you see they go up and then they realize the payload's still moving. They just have to jump down, which leads to Happy getting walled and just penalized, getting the amplification matrix right in front of him, shredding his shield with the May in the back.
Another great M-Star Blizzard and Wall to find a great early kill onto Happy as Z Smitty falls shortly after, and Edgewood keeps the payload rolling.
Yeah, very strong attack from Edgewood this half.
Very. As you look at the time, they have almost 2 more minutes on the clock right now than Edgewood, or than Shawnee State did when they finished.
But we do have the Blizzard from Z Smitty here, so they definitely gonna have a strong hold, but not if Happy gets walled off and picked early again.
Another perfect wall. But the Blizzard comes down to now contest the back line of Edgewood College with a few kills coming down now from the Kiriko Fox of Shawnee State.
I mean, that Blizzard is just way too strong to defend against. They didn't have the beat, they didn't have the matrix, not a lot. The best they can do is just take it to the face and go again next life.
Group up, go next.
Yeah, they're going to be seeing ult advantage in favor of Shawnee here. They're going to have the specific flux, which will be great if they're looping up here, but the orbital ray with the Kiriko will be good.
Coming out early now from Gordo. And Kaiser getting the Deadeye kill onto Happy, being returned with a Fire Strike. Fox killing M-Star, and Joss Betts and the Fox. The supports are just cleaning up Edgewood College.
Yeah, seeing 3 ults from Edgewood, and Shawnee, I believe, only using both support ults definitely doesn't help, especially when they're going to get the amplification matrix and the Blizzard coming up against them soon. But if it wins them the fight, there's no complaining.
We now have Shatter, Blizzard, and Overclock for Shawnee State heading into this next fight. Shatter gets completely blocked by Gordo on the Rhine swap. As Happy falls now, the Overclock comes out from Basilisk to get a kill onto Kaiser. Gonna be looking for more. Gets sectioned off by that Rhine shield. Finishing one on the melee as the Blizzard now from Z. Smitty comes down in the back.
It's gonna be a
And
very strong Blizzard there from Smitty. However, definitely not needed, especially where there's nobody alive for it. 4 people frozen, but nobody act on it, and now they're not going to have that for the next fight, which is definitely game changing.
yeah, that was M-Star's Blizzard going down at the end, and just everyone's frozen, but no one to get the kills.
Yeah, Gordo's likely going to get shattered this fight, which we're going to have to see Happy keep up with for the advantage, but hopefully we
Now
can see some
coming
good
down
Maywalls.
to overtime, both Maywalls coming out now on cooldown with the amplification matrix coming out from Edgewood. Happy gonna be trying to contest the window a bit. More of a fight going on. M-Star using that Ice Cube now and the Maywall to section off as Shawnee State finds a few picks on the back of Happy, and that's the round. That's the map for
Map
Shawnee
to
State.
Shawnee. Very, very good defense. They were getting crushed for a little bit on attack, but they were able to retake what they needed to on that last point, and they had the ult advantages. One thing important to note on that last point is I believe they had Edgewood had one of their supports, the Lucio, in the back line trying to contest the point where they're fighting that side room. They're not on the point, and when you're down a support because they're on the payload, he goes down very early, and Reinhardt's not going to survive long with only one support. And just as it was expected, Happy fell or Gordo fell, and that was the map for Shawnee.
Indeed, and as you saw at the end there, Kaiser with the play of the game, it's not like Edgewood wasn't putting up a fight. They were there, they were fighting, and it just felt like Shawnee State could sometimes get that first pick, which swayed the fight their way most times.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was very strong fights from both of them. We can see that it was very back and forth holds and attacks, but it just seems that Shawnee had the advantage, like you said, with the Maywalls, the early picks on the supports, being able to keep Edgewood from getting the advantage, I guess you could say, is just what they were really good at. I believe next we're going to be going to
100%.
push for the map, which will be interesting to see how the mode fares with these teams, where they're very brawl oriented. Well, one thing I'll say these teams do very well is they're very well at playing together, much more grouped up than a couple of the teams we've seen, which is something you can tell. I'm really not sure what is giving Shawnee the advantage. My guess again would be the supports, with the Juno Brig being able to just, the survivability is just, or they had a Curiko that match, but I feel like the Lucio heals just might not be enough, especially where you have a Reinhardt for a tank. He's going to need a lot more pocketing heals than just a passive Lucio one.
And I like the Lucio utility, but it just doesn't seem like it can work into the comps that they're running as well as Shawnee State is running. That's just applying so much damage onto their tank that a Lucio heals just feels like it might not be able to keep up with.
Yeah, especially like you said, the utility is very good and is there, but we're just not seeing it applied in the way it should be. Like, we're not seeing the beat up for the Blizzards, we're not seeing it up for the Shatter. And I feel like Lucio is one of the first to fall in each of the fights, which again is without even the little bit of heals that he can give out to the tank. It's pretty much an early fall for the fight. Looks like we're going to be going to Runasapi, the I believe that's the new push map. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
We'll be getting into that one pretty soon here. And I like push is a double-edged sword with me. I don't like playing push, but I like casting push. I like watching push. I like seeing push be played out. I like seeing the counter picks and the early picks and who can get the upper hand in these fights on these maps, and I think it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, I think the push, although it's widely hated, I think is a very interesting mode in the sense of it might be a little unbalanced, but that just leads to an increase of skill needed to play it, where when you win a fight, you have to make sure you're not putting too much into it, because if you're at the disadvantage and if the opponent has more distance than you use 3 ults to retake that fight, you're going to win that and you're going to get to mid for the next fight. You haven't gained any extra progress yet. You have to win multiple fights in a row for the advantage. So you have to make sure you're using your ults efficiently and not ult dumping every single fight. You have to really squeeze out what you can each fight for the advantage and not go overboard.
Absolutely. Who's your go-to tank pick on this map?
Reinhardt.
A Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gordo on the Mauga.
Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say we could see some Mauga here. I like the Ramatra pick, but maybe that's just because I know people who go Reinhardt. I can punch through that shield and such, but
yeah, Ram is definitely a good counter to Ryan. Which, yeah, being able to punch through the shield, you said. Mauga definitely has been tuned down a bit since launch. Gonna be interesting to see because they do have the Mei, they do have the Cassidy. They're gonna be able to prevent that Ryan from doing what he needs to. If he gets in the backline, they're gonna punish him for it. So I'm excited to see this round.
And I feel like the shield uptime isn't gonna be anywhere near as much as it maybe was recently because of this Mauga.
Yeah, definitely not.
Just going to keep the pressure on that shield, which means Happy is just going to keep on swinging. Already 40% to a shatter, as now the tanks are fighting on the robot. With no team coming out really ahead yet, Shawnee State getting the first push onto the robot, with Happy falling critically low, having to get the Kiriko lens done now by the Mauga's overrun. Doesn't fall just yet. You see Maddie trying to keep everyone on Edgewood College alive here. With 2, 3, 4 falling from the support from Shawnee State, getting the whole team kill, because why not?
I believe that's a 5K from the Fox. Very strong for the support.
Who's the damage and who's the support here?
And at the start of that, I thought it was going to go in favor of Edgewood because you look at the Ana pick and the Mauga pick, their entire team's counter-picking that Rhyme. The anti, the sleep, the cast-nade, the wall, the break stun, everything. But, I mean, you can't do much against a Kiriko headshot.
No one ever accounts for the Kiriko pop-off from the back line, but it's there.
Yeah.
We're going to see the orbital ray come down now for Shawnee State, and the nano boost also swing from Edgewood. We now have a bunch of ults coming down onto this fight to try to contest, and it looks like Edgewood is pulling out the victors of this one. And like you said, now they used all those ults, but how far are they going to get this robot before Shawnee State contests again?
Yeah, they're gonna have that. They're likely gonna have cage fight in the high noon, but with the Mei ult and the Sojourn, I'm not really sure which advantage it's going to go to. Sojourn's definitely going to need to get those picks on the support. Maybe even the Mei to prevent the Mauga from getting blocked off.
I feel like we're going to see this Blizzard out a little earlier from Smitty. The cage fight comes down first with the Blizzard following a good counter ult. Now Gordo falling with 2 though on Shawnee State, falling the Kaiser and M-Star, the DPS of Edgewood. As the robot keeps pushing and is almost about to take the lead for Edgewood.
See a
Basilisk trying to contest. With a DPS trade coming down, seems as if Edgewood is still retaining this robot.
The tank is
Not
getting
quite.
up there, though.
Happy's back.
It's just the supports.
And it's actually now in favor of Shawnee State as they find the last few picks that Edgewood College had on the robot.
Yeah, I definitely didn't like the Basilisk ult. It was already a fairly losing fight, and losing that Sojourn ult very late into that, definitely not what you wanted. But it looks like they were just trying to get the last bit they needed to keep the lead, because that's what you need in this mode, but they did not hold.
We're gonna see some May walls come down with some pressure onto the tanks. Smitty falling low, having to use the ice cube. Happy falling in the front as Edgewood College with the Malga push up and run him out.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have to commit any fights to that to win. Definitely what you want on a push map. We're going to be seeing both support, all 4 support ults coming this fight. The Nano and the Kitsune Rush going to be probably put on early here. Switch to the Orisa as well.
There's the Rush with M-Star's Blizzard that got eaten by Happy with picks hugely across the board for Shawnee State now.
Yeah, this match is very back and forth here, but the advantage to Edgewood here. So hopefully Shawnee can retake what they want, retake their space here. They did use the Kitsune Rush, but Edgewood used 2-3 ults there. Gonna see a switch to Zarya. Definitely gonna be helpful against the Mei.
The Orisa gonna be trying to push up here now. I like the swap.
Yeah, early pick, being able to just push back as far as they need.
Shawnee State now taking more of a lead with this robot, pushing the barrier even further. Right now, uncontested by Edgewood. Gonna be looking to put a stop to that, though. High Noon coming down from Kaiser, finding God's Pets in the back. Picks from both teams. Kaiser is 2 up now. Happy with another pick from Shawnee State is gonna send this spot pushing even further.
Yeah, we saw Kaiser there, but getting some picks, but Happy and Smitty were just walking down the back line, getting what they needed, killing the supports, killing the damage, and that's the advantage to Shawnee. Much better ult economy as well from Shawnee here, but looking like we're getting kind of close to a grab, which could be a game-changing pick here. Game-changing ult.
Now we do have those ults coming down, the Javelin. Actually, it's looking like Shawnee State's just cleaning this one, even with the ults that came down from Edgewood.
I mean, he
Which
used
is actually
4 ults.
Just the
Yeah,
mind.
use 4
That
ults.
was a big ult dump.
Into the,
I didn't catch all of those.
Yeah, the rally is not going to do much against an ult away.
Looking like it's not done yet, though. The spot's right at the end. Shawnee State looking to finish pushing it as they secured 2 kills on the Gordo and Kaiser, with Melly falling next. The Blizzard from M-Star buying them some time and some space. Not for long enough, though.
Wow, that's going to
As
be the match
Shawnee
for
State
Shawnee.
pushes it and
Yeah,
wins
very,
the match.
very, very strong from Shawnee there. The Orisa pick, you can definitely see the effect it made. It wasn't as back and forth as the Ryan Mauga was. Just even with Edgewood making the Zarya switch to try and counter, the pressure you're able to put on with the Mei and with the Orisa, you can just take so much map control and do what you need. And Edgewood just weren't getting the picks they needed as well. So very strong attack from Shawnee and very good win from them on that map. And that's gonna be the match in favor of Shawnee.
That is going to be the match in favor of Shawnee. A nice 3-0 in and out. And again, it's not to discredit any of the efforts of Edgewood College today. They put up a hell of a fight, and Shawnee State did not get that win easily. And I'm hoping each team has good luck going forward and can figure out anything that was wrong.
Yep, good job to both teams. Definitely a lot to work on both. Good win to Shawnee. Again, very strong plays. Definitely interesting. And thank you guys for watching. To wrap up, I'm Althea, joined with Inferno. Thank you to our observer, Beldia. Thank you to the ECAC. And thank you to
you.
the viewers as well for tuning in.